And we're live. Good evening, everyone. Hello and welcome. It's time for another amazing, exciting episode of IT Career in Australia. And today we're diving into hands-on topic, best ChatGPT prompts for finding your first tech job. With Marrin-Boyd joining me today. We all know AI tools like ChatGPT can be a game changer in your job search. And in this session, we'll explore how to use it effectively. We'll look at some prompts, the actual, prompts that can help you understand the local job market, finding the right opportunity, even crafting your LinkedIn profile and prepare for the interviews. We'll share the best prompts to save you time, boost your confidence, and help you to land that tech job. So make sure to say hi in the comments, and obviously don't be shy with your questions. I'm Jana Martins. If you forgot for any reason, I'm here pretty much every Wednesday talking about all the things job search in Australia. So if you're watching me on LinkedIn, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you're watching me on the YouTube channel, make sure to connect with me on LinkedIn. And I also, of course, always recommend you to join the meetup group as well, because I post a lot of face-to-face events as well there. So, and I'll give you some reminders at the end of the stream what the events upcoming. So, because there's a lot of events in the different cities now. Again, if you're not saying hi in the comments, I don't know that you're here, and it's kind of sad. So make sure to say hi and let us know where you're watching us from. Mohammed's here saying hi. Thank you. So the highs already start coming up. So make sure to follow. Anyway, pass it on to Marrin-Boyd to introduce yourself.
Hello, welcome everybody. Jana, I can't believe you just said then that, in case people don't know about you, you're probably the most well-known people in this space, and that I know that's doing what you do. So you don't need to worry about people not knowing you. Hi everybody, Marrin-Boyd Andrews. Some call me MBA if that's easier for you. I don't mind. I've had it my whole life. I'm the co-founder, director / everything marketing for ProPrompt. Which is an online platform that I released about a year ago. And today, I'm really looking forward and really excited to give you a little bit of an understanding of the prompts that could probably help you the most in this space. I get a lot of people over the years that reach out to me. Can I have career development coaching? Can I do this? Can I do that? Is that possible? And I'll be honest with you, most times I lead them back to prompts. What I'm going to do today is hopefully give you a little bit of an understanding of what a good prompt stack looks like when you're looking for a job, or you're maybe exploring live jobs that are out there, or you may be looking to update your LinkedIn profile. AI is very, very good for this. So I'm hoping today that I can give you some stuff. It does work in ChatGPT, but please don't stress. If you use Claude or you use anything else, it's okay. It'll all work. The prompts are written to work across multiple platforms. So what I touched on is I've got 20 years experience in this industry. From exec right down to a grad coming through the door. So I've looked after a lot of people and helped a lot of people get jobs. So hopefully today you guys can leverage this and feel free to chat along with us in the conversations. Jana, you keep me posted if there's anything I can help with. But I'm just going to give you some live demo stuff and give you an understanding of what you're looking at as we go through it. We're all good?
Perfect. Yes. Few people saying hi. Thank you guys for saying hi. Always good, to see you there. Safak, Rahul, Josh here. Thank you guys. I guess, first thing we talk about all this, magic AI that can help you with everything. But is there such a thing like a magic prompt that can just land you a tech job? Where do we even start?
No, look. A quick answer is no, but a great answer is you can create a great prompt that's for you. The reason why I say that is because the more AI you can teach AI in a prompt about you and what you're passionate about and what your skills are and what you're looking to develop and where you want to go in your career and all this stuff that AI loves to have inside a prompt, allows you to have almost a perfect prompt, right? It's just think of like the agents that are coming out now, Yana, like all the agents that are coming out, the reason why the ones are the best agents that are out there are the ones that are heavily educated on someone who's really good in that space. So think of a prompt like that. So yeah, no, there's not a one go solution. You can do simple things, like I said, update your custom instructions. You can do all of that. That is very helpful. But the truth is that hopefully off the back of today, you'll get a little bit inspired on what the art of the possible is of a great prompt, and you can start creating your own. And then you'll have a great prompt. When you have a prompt that you can reuse and it's all about you, that's probably going to be a great prompt to help you.
And, before we dive in, also want to ask you, we give that advice now that, use ChatGPT, use the prompts to write your applications, so resumes, cover letter. But also, how can job seekers avoid sounding like every other candidate these days? Because now we have more applications because people use AI. They can, put the application quicker. But they all start looking the same. How you can make sure that, if you're using prompts, you don't just another AI applicant?
Yeah, so the first thing is that, yes, it's going to sound quite robotic if you just ask it to do its own job, right? Like if you just say, give me an answer, and you don't tell it tone and format and all this great stuff that makes it sound like you, then you are going to get quite a static, very dry answer out of AI, right? However, what you can do to help out those chats to become better and answer better is always tell it to act human, but also listen like it's human. Make sure you tell it that, because what it'll do, it'll resonate with the tone that you want to go with, so that as you ask it to act or to sound like or to be human in a certain space, you'll find the answers come back a lot softer. Like you might say, look, I like a professional, witty, humble type of tone and approach in what I want to do. I'm humble because I'm willing to learn. I'm professional because I'm sticking my neck out there and I'm going to go for it in my career. But I don't mind having a laugh, right? So you choose that stuff that becomes really important. And I'll show you a little bit about that when you've got a template today. Like they're called variables. And those variables that you put into a prompt is things like your emotions, your trust, your lived experiences, right? So even though you might be early in your career, mid-career, or later, you've got experiences there that makes you different from everybody else. So those variables you put in there will make you stand out and different. And remember, ATSs aren't looking for a lot of that either. They're looking for keywords and stuff like that. So sometimes the prompt could be really bringing out what SEO or AEO keywords you need to have in there to make sure the ATSs pick you up first, right?
Yeah, no, makes sense. I guess let's dive into it, and let's introduce us to the prompt, and let's dive into some prompts.
Sure. So I've skipped the front page for you guys, but this is Pro Prompt up the top left. This is the site. I built this, like I said, it was never supposed to go live. I think Yana and I've had this conversation before. It was never supposed to go live. This was a site for me to save the prompts and for me to have what I want to do with my work. However, it just grew. So what they are, they're all collections that you can go into. And inside those collections are all these different prompts for that particular collection. So today, as an example, we're going to go straight down to here, career and job hunting. This is where I keep a lot and develop a lot of the prompts that go in here. So it'll tell you what the actual folder does and the collection does. But all these jobs underneath, anything you slide down and click down onto, will tell you what each one does. We've got a lot of prompts. There's like over 41,000 prompts in everything now. So we've actually started to put favorites to people, because people start, and I favorited 5 for you for today, so I can show you 5 that I think are great. But that's why we did it. So let's jump in. I want to start showing you a little bit of what it looks like in a prompt first. And then I'll show you how you can draft it to create it yourself. But these are really, really good ones. So the first one, as I've just jumped out of it. Okay, so let's look at this one. So this is the live open job search prompt, right? If you're career hunting, job hunting, this sort of stuff. The way that these prompts work is that the main template that's in black, so all the writing you can see in black there, and I have filled in some details here, so I'll show you. If stuff that's in blue is what they call a variable. So the reason why you write templates is because you only have to worry about writing the actual format, the way the prompt needs to think, the way the prompt needs to act, and what it needs to do in those areas. But what we do is we leave these areas that are blue as variables. They're blue. You can make them any color you want. But the nice part is you can use it again. So you can run that prompt next week. You can run that prompt when you're looking for another role. You can run that prompt when you go, oh, I want to look in New Zealand now. And so you just change it. So you might go into that section there, region. We might go, oh, I was looking in New Zealand last week. I'll look in Australia this week. You know what I mean? And you can just keep running the same template. So I've pre-set up this one because it takes a bit of effort to go through and fill in some of these because some of them are quite varied. I've named him Barry. I said we're looking for a data scientist. The nice part is if the variables are written right, you won't have to write them twice. So this is just telling the prompt what the variable we want to look for, and we're looking for him in Australia. We said, is there any exclusions? Yep, we don't want a graduate. We just want to keep it open. Once again, Barry's already in there. Data science goes in. So all those variables are popping into the part of the prompt so you don't have to repeat it. So it makes it a lot easier for you. In Australia, like I said, we're excluding out graduates, and that's all you need to do. It'll run it from there. So what we do is just copy from here. We'll go over to ChatGPT, and we'll just paste it in. Now, what you've done there is you've got the entire prompt already, like I said, templated. If you had yours templated, but your variables are inside. So you just run it. So straight away, it's giving you, let's bring it up here.
Maybe just zoom in a little bit for us.
Zoom in a little bit? Yeah, okay. So what it's given us is the code. What it's given us is a string code, but it's absolutely targeted to what we chose it to target, right? So we just throw it into here. And there's all the data scientist jobs. All right, cross C.
Give us a little zoom.
I'll zoom in again. Sorry, yeah.
Yes, perfect.
So off that one prompt, you only made 4 or 5 changes, right? So I'm just going to quieten down my my duck suit. So you can actually vary it then. You can say, okay, great. Now look, now I want it to be for Melbourne specifically. You know what I mean? Now I want it to be for this. Because you've got a great prompt to start with, you can just keep creating and keep adding. Once you've got a good prompt is never the silver bullet, but it is a great start to the awesome conversation after it. So for example, hey ChatGPT, I want to also now, knowing all my skills and my experience, I want you to write me a really good cover letter talking that I can reach out to employers with. All this stuff and all the skills that I've got. So I want you to be very targeted for me. Keep it very humble, human, professional. I want it to sound like me, and I want it to sound very, very much a connection that they're going to have with me, and give them almost a hook so they'll want to reach out to me. So because you've given ChatGPT that one prompt and that one example, what you do off the back of that, you've got a lovely way to keep going with that conversation now. So you go, Barry, I'm reaching out with a genuine interest to explore opportunities, bring my skills together. So you can see one prompt kicks into the next and the next and the next, and you can just keep going for there. So look at how we said Australia. Okay, ChatGPT. I now want to look for search opportunities in New Zealand as well. Can you rewrite that Boolean for me? Knowing all my skills, don't forget all the experience that I'm looking for and all the experience that I've got that I've given you in the details. So straight away, you don't have to worry. It knows all about you. You don't have to repeat all that information. And there's the new one for New Zealand. All right. And I won't dive into it. I won't try it, but that's how you keep going with this, right? And that's the way you keep moving and what you want to do. The other cool part is that I do have another prompt I'm going to show you about your CV.
Just before we go, just to clarify. So what did you put in the original prompt that prompt actually to give the code?
Yeah. So the prompt was this. This is all of it here. So you must have information required, which is what the prompt needs and is required to do. So we want to provide the following ones: a variable that can be applied across all Boolean strings, right? We tell it that we need to have the name, the job titles that we're looking for, and we've given examples there so you can fill in. The nice part about a variable, guys, it doesn't have to be anything. So you don't have to have data. You don't have to have data scientists. You can have software engineer and data scientist, or you could have 5 titles in there, and it'll keep moving with you. Just like if you don't know it's in Australia, you don't need to put it in there. A variable is a choice to help the prompt act better, right? So if you didn't choose that, that'll go global, right? That'll look for jobs everywhere, right? Because we've taken the region out of it. But you can keep playing with that as much as you like. I'm just going to put it back in. Also, don't worry about spelling. It doesn't care. The exclusions is what we're telling it what not to do. So then we go into a template. A really good template to work off is what they call Skyscraper. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of it before, but it's a really good format. So what that means is that it says, this is the context of the prompt. This is the format it needs to be in. Here is the information that's required. And here is the outcome that I'm looking for. That's called a skyscraper prompt. I've used that in some of the prompts right through ProPrompt because it's a lovely format for someone to quickly go, oh, yeah, okay, yeah. I expose all my prompts, right? I don't hide them. In ProPrompt, we want everyone to learn from it, right? The idea is that we just give you great prompts to get started and go, but we're hoping that off the back of it, people also go, oh, I think I get that now, right? And after that, I've got to put role, and then I've got to tell it what its mission is, and then I've got to give an absolute rule. So we try and encourage people to read them, but how most people are just in a hurry, right? So they just go, no, I'm just going to fill in the variables, and I'm going to go. But that's why we expose it. This is not knowledge that people can't know about. This is knowledge what people should know about. We're only going to get better at AI and better at finding jobs and better people at being able to work with AI is if we understand how prompts work, right? Everything requires a prompt. Does that answer your question, Yana? Did that cover that?
Yeah, and that Boolean string that we get,
yes.
Does it do the search through mostly Seek, or what websites it's searching?
So this prompt in particular, you can see that. I'll zoom in a little bit more for you guys. Let me see if I can get it there for you. This particular prompt, I've chosen it to look across all the Workday jobs at jobs.com.au, site boards, Greenhouse, Jobs Lever, Smart Recruiters, and Taleo, iSIMS, SuccessFactors, Workday, Eightfold. I've thrown them all into it. That's what I'm saying to you. The better the prompt you guys do, it can go wider, right? Now, here's the really cool part. If you go, okay, well, he hasn't got any, he hasn't got LinkedIn in there. You go, okay, Google, sorry, not Google, ChatGPT, I want you to now create a way that I can find jobs on LinkedIn. I'm going to use Google, but I just want to see live open jobs that are being advertised on LinkedIn at the moment. This Boolean should work in Google and should be using all the details that you've got before. So once again, you find another job board, you've just created the perfect prompt to do it. And my Google is now talking to me over the left here in the middle of this. And there it is. So you can throw this straight into Google, or if you guys are using LinkedIn itself, as you know, LinkedIn's got AI now, right? So you can throw it in there and also find jobs with it. Yeah. So that's the really cool part. A good prompt will allow you to keep going and going and going, right? And here's another really cool trick. If you get a great response out of it, ask AI to write you a prompt template for it. So if you get a great result and you've just say you've been talking to it for 20 minutes trying to get it to answer right, trying to get to work on, when you get a great result, go, great. Now, I want you to remember all those steps we did. I want you to remember everything we went through. I want you to prompt template that for me, right? And you create one for you. In this case, it'd be Barry. But, you know what I mean? And it'll go, great. This is Yana's job search template. All right, cool.
Yeah.
So
I think it's also, so it's a really good reminder for people, because sometimes people get a bit stuck, like, oh, like, what do I need to put in the prompt? Like, maybe I'm missing something. Yeah, exactly. Right. Just ask ChatGPT to write the prompt.
Write the prompt. And, and a lovely cool thing, Yana, and this happens a lot, is, you got to humble yourself a little bit, but you need to say, all right, what have I forgotten? How can I improve this? Like, we've really got to get to that stage, where we can, it's like asking your leader, right? It's like asking your friend, look, I dropped the ball there. I did that wrong, or I haven't got that right. How can I improve it, right? It's going to help you and improve it for you. So, but like I said, the initial prompts are the gold, right? the initial conversation, if you can get your variable information in there, so it never has to ask again, what's your name? What do you do again? What are your skills? All that sort of stuff. You can just keep moving with it. Yeah, cool. All right. So we jump into another one?
Yes, let's go to the next one.
All right, let's go to the next one. All right, so this one is a LinkedIn profile improvements and settings prompt. I help a lot of people with this prompt because the biggest thing that people say to me is oh my God, can you help me with my LinkedIn profile? I'm sure it can be better. I'm sure that there's key stuff missing. I'm sure that there's recruiters left, right, and center looking at mine and going, no, she doesn't have the skills. No, he hasn't got the skills, purely because it's not in there, right? Purely because you've missed something and the like. So this is a really nice prompt, I'll step through it. So we've told it it's going to be a LinkedIn profile improver. We've told it it's going to be working on that executive branding, SEO thinking, so they think like a real professional would setting up their profile, right? And you can change that. If you write your prompt, you might say as a mid-career person, or you can change that. This one just happens to work like that. You can put the inputs, so ask once. So you always tell the AI, don't repeat stuff to me, or don't ask me the same thing 3 times. I only want to tell you once. These are all the variables, which we'll go through in a second. These are the non-negotiables. Obviously, this is the stuff that no matter what, I need this in my profile. This is the facts. So it doesn't hallucinate on how amazing you are, because AI is very good at making you sound more amazing. And then you have to prove it because you're going through a screening or you're going through an interview, right? So this gets you past that. Then we structure into 2 parts. And obviously there's a front end copy, which is the UI. And then you've got on the back end is all the optional extras that you can think about for the settings and features and functions. And, is someone looking at me when I'm looking at them, and all those settings that people always try to get right. So it's quite a detailed prompt. It's probably about 3 pages long. But look, what I'm going to do with this prompt, just to show you how powerful it is, even without variables in it. I'm not going to fill any of the variables in here. But what I am going to do is I'm going to attach, and Jan and I were talking about this before we came on, but we've actually, Denise is a really good friend of ours, and we're going to use her profile. I'm sure she won't mind because she's a lovely human. And what we're going to do is we're not going to fill it in, because to fill it in would just take time, but you guys know what to fill in here. You know what your tech focus is and what sort of functions you want to be shown. And, it gives you examples of what to do and what profession and what sort of titles you want. But we're going to make it even easier. We're just going to go copy this. We'll go into a new chat. I'm going to paste this in there. And then I'm going to go and grab our lovely Denise's. Where is she? Here she is. This is Denise's profile. If you don't know Denise, catch her on LinkedIn. Amazing human. Good person. Okay, so this is her profile. She is an exceptional talent sourcer in Australia. Probably good for you to connect with her anyway. But she's an exceptional talent sourcer, worked across many industries and all the rest. All we've done now, we've put no variables in, right? So imagine how powerful this would be if you did have the variables in there, right? And then attach your latest PDF. So this PDF is from LinkedIn, right? This is from, where do we have Denise up here a minute ago? Is she here? This is from Denise's profile. If you guys don't know how to get it, just go more, save PDF. This is all we did to grab it, all right? It has all the information. So let's just run it. And we'll see how we go from here. By the way, we had to change it earlier. We had to change it from ChatGPT 5 to ChatGPT 4 because these are quite lengthy prompts and they do take a long time to produce. All right, so the way the prompt works is that it has what we call a format called human in the loop. I don't know if you guys have heard it before. It's a really good technique that they're using in agents now where there's stop points. Oh, I need you to check this, or can you tell me that before I can move on, or, that sort of thing. So we could put all this in here. Like I said, I'm not going to worry too much about it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say, ChatGPT, just run with what we've got, okay? But I'm just going to give you a little bit of an idea because all we want to do is see the results on what Denise can improve on her amazing LinkedIn profile. I'm going to say, don't worry about any of the role achievements or updates. The updated profile that I've attached is pretty good. Not much movement beyond that. No changes to location of industry. No new certificates. Oh, no, add that that I've got a LinkedIn certificate because I got it the other day. No publications or awards I want to add in there. And should I include podcasts or speaking engagements? Yeah, sure. I also run a podcast called Crafty Saucer. Add that in there. But look, let's not worry too much about the details. I want you just to go off what I've given you there. I need you to really work and make it SEO ready and AEO ready for the language models and for Google. And then we're also going to go through all the settings that we can improve. All right. So off one prompt, and you're then telling that information. If we had all that in there in the variables, you wouldn't have to tell anyway, right? It's asking because that we haven't supplied that. But this is a great way, guys, to really look at your profile and look at what could be better. Is that big enough for you guys to see?
Yep.
All right, cool. So they're telling you what you can leave and optional. You don't have to have there. Suggestions for industry. Now, they've got there, definitely you look at talent acquisition and recruiting, better visibility in the TA for TA leaders. And it's also saying there, also add human resource services. It aligns with a lot of the work she's doing with the outsourcing. So you go, oh, yeah, great. Didn't think of that. Because some of us just go straight to what we are aligned to, right? But sometimes you have transferable skills, so it highlights that. Obviously, she's got Melbourne there, and she's got a click path through, so that's all right. It'll tell you under each thing what to do, and it'll tell you why it did it. So, for example, the custom profile URL, they've suggested this one here and shows it how you can change it to make it customized for your name. Why? It helps remove the number of suffixes and credibility and shareability, right? Rather than a long URL, you shut it down, you get it all. But you could do that. So it shows you how to do it in the settings. Same thing with the options for your headings. They've given you option A, B, and C. It tells you how to do it, and it says the reason why is because it's a factional TA, AI, APC, talent sourcing. These improve search visibility. All right. See the cool stuff. Then you can load your own in there to a prompt like this and let it just go for it. I'm not going to, like I said, I'll just slowly slide as I'm talking. What was this? Sorry, it's a bit clicky. So yes, it'll always tell you why it's given the reason. No different to when a talent sourcer or a recruiter is looking for you as talent. We ask the same thing backwards. Oh, rank these 5 candidates I'm looking at and tell me why you've chosen them to rank in that order. Tell me why. And this is what we allow. This is what a good prompt does like this. It allows you to tell you why it's chosen, why you should do it. You don't have to follow it, obviously, but it's lovely to have a bit of guidance, and you'll see mass improvements in your clickability and being found on LinkedIn.
Yeah. Instead of just like ask him to write my experience or write the about section, which again can sound, as you mentioned before, really vague, and you always better.
Yeah.
And that's about
standing out, right? You're talking about standing out, right? How are we going to stand out? This is the stuff that makes you stand out on an ATS or a CRM that whatever company's using. It also makes you stand out because people read it. And because they've got you in there, like imagine all that information we just gave before. If you were, say, a data scientist and you had machine learning and Python background, and you'd done some special extra classes, and you'd studied extra for certain areas, studied under someone or whatever you'd done. Imagine putting those into the variables with this as well. It'll say highlight that, put it into this section as well, which is all that stuff up here, right? Add that in there. Make sure you mention that. Make sure that goes into this section because that's the part they search for there. And then at the end, this is your settings and privacy, right? This is the stuff that makes it really good for you to find people and them to find you, right? And you to stay private. Like, you don't want to seem like you're stalking a company before you obviously go and meet with a leader or the like. So sometimes you can turn off profile settings, right? And hide a few things. Like it'll suggest, maybe hide some interest on birthday follows and stuff like that. And, look for relevant titles in the open to work opportunities. That sort of stuff. So it's really nice. And like the good thing is that it's step by step. Tells you where to go. Tells you go to the privacy settings, go to visibility, go to connections, go to mentions. Right. So that's how you can do some mass improvements to people finding you. So we've shown you how to find jobs and live jobs that are out there, but this is a nice way for when they're looking at you. Should we stop for any questions or anything, Yana? I'm just going to keep moving.
I think everyone just sort of speechless, trying to absorb the information. But guys, yes, feel free to answer the questions as we go. yeah, if you have a question on whatever the prompt we showing right now, please make sure to drop the question in the comments as well.
Sure, and look, we're probably not going to have much time, because I'd really like to stop at about 15:15, where in case there's any questions, right, and that sort of thing. So we may not get to a few, but how about I go straight to career mapping and that sort of stuff, because sometimes when you're looking for a job, it's the stuff you don't think about because you're quite targeted. Oh, I want to work for Google, or I only want to work in Sydney, and I only want to work for a manufacturing company, right? We get very stuck in our ways of what we want, right? That's not to say you're not passionate about it, but when you can use a prompt to also expand your thing. Go, oh my God, yeah, I didn't think about dairy. Yeah, got heaps of manufacturing in dairy, and I didn't think about this. They've got heaps of manufacturing, So this is a really good one. It's called a career mapping one. And like I said, this is quite detailed as well. So I'm going to dive into this because it'll allow us time. But later on, guys, if you want to show anything, you want me to show you any more, I'll do it. So let's go for a target job. So let's look. We're looking for let's go software engineer. Preferred location. Let's put Sydney for Yana. All right, and target industry. So once again, the really cool part about a software engineer, it's needed everywhere, right? So let's just go for gold. Let's say we're looking for retail. Let's say retail needs some really good software engineers. Now, once I said with variables, you can add as many as you like. Put retail in there, put manufacturing in there, put IT, put whatever you like. So it doesn't matter. Top skills. So let's say machine learning. Let's go possibly SAP, possibly Python. I know I'm mucking around here. Let's just run with those three, right? But let's get in there. Career stage. So let's say we're at we'll say early to mid, right? Let's say that. And like I said, you can be as creative be as human as you can with this. It's not like it's asking for a specific match of only for that. Okay. Job title. Let's say we're looking full time. ATS, enter word. So that's usually all this stuff, right? So software engineer. I'll just copy paste it so it's easier. Software engineer. Let's get machine learning, Python, only because I can't be bothered typing. So you can put as much as you want in there. And the cool thing about it, if you don't know, go to AI and say, give me all the top keyword searches for what I do and paste it in there. Now the tone, like we said, we definitely want professional. We definitely want to be humble, which means we're learning. We definitely want to be honest and appreciative. Right, that's probably the best tone we can go for. Target company, if you do have one, do it. Let's leave it out for now. Let's just see what comes back on it. Your motivator is obviously, let's say, growth and development. So you're looking at stability, growth, development from a company. LinkedIn tone, once again, let's see. This is the resume tone. This is the LinkedIn tone. It's usually no different, right? So, oops, did I just paste over that? I did, didn't I? Hang on a second. Professional, humble, honest, and let's just run with that. And like I said, don't worry about spelling. AI doesn't care. Let's paste that in there. Workplace priority. So yeah, let's look for some flexibility possibly. And practice topic. This is where it'll start giving you some interview practice topics. So maybe interviews and face-to-face skills and comms. Let's run with that. Some nice start. Let's run with that and see if we can get scores. Once again, just copy it. That's all the variables you need to do. The rest of the prompt will run from here, guys. Just jumping into ChatGPT again. Like I said, you can use Claude, whatever you like. It doesn't matter. Now, remember what we were looking for. This is a, what was it called? A LinkedIn, no, it wasn't. It was career mapping and a Boolean job description, okay? Let's go back. All right, now it's asking us for here. I'll break it into several clean sections for you. Start next. Shall we begin? Let's go. So it's just giving you a bit of an update because there's a fair bit in these prompts. You'll find with some of these prompts, it'll try and clarify stuff before it needs to. All right. So remember, this is a bit of an understanding to the ways that you can look at your career and maybe opportunities you hadn't thought of. So obviously it gives you the top 10 unis that sit in that space. These are the top 10 degrees that people usually have in this space. Now, when you think about these sort of stuff like careers, certifications, licenses, sometimes you look at this, you go, oh, yeah, I didn't put that in my thing. I need to put that in. Oh, I am a Scrum Master. I didn't mention that. Sorry, I won't go too fast. Development focused sort of stuff that you've been doing, front or back end stuff. Sometimes you go, oh, I didn't put my Node.js in there. You know what I mean? So it's trying to help you capture all the things that it knows is really important for you to highlight. So market insights. So here's 20 alternative job titles. Right. So even though we're looking for a software engineer or maybe a software developer, you go, oh, yeah, that's right. I can be searching for a React developer as well. I can also look for cloud engineer. I can also, solutions developer. You know what I mean? So it's opening you up because you remember companies are very creative at calling it what they want to call it. But the truth is it's really just a software engineer. Right. So
and I think also it's quite important for people who recently move country as well.
Yes,
so, sometimes when you're moving to another country, the names and titles quite different as well. You might be doing like similar role, but it just called a bit different here, and you don't even think about searching that title because it just don't come to your mind.
100%. And you're spot on, Yana, especially coming from overseas, because they might call it a front end developer over there, but over here we just go, oh, they're full stack. They're just application. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's a really good pickup, Yana. So here's the top 20 skills. Right now, the reason why this is important is if you've got these skills and you haven't got it in there, I'd highly advise you to put it in. The other thing is sometimes it's the way it's written. So AI will normally give it back to you how it's going to be searched for. The prompt is giving you exactly how it needs to be. So if you have just Scrum Master, maybe you might want to think about calling it Agile Scrum. Right? Things like that. So this is really good to know. Great for your CV, great for when you're talking about your careers and experience. These are the high value experiences that distinguish you, right? So this is the stuff that's really good when you're writing your cover letter or you're writing a brief about your achievements or experience and the like. I'm going to quickly get down to this. We're running out of time, Yana. I've got this is a massive prompt. These are other industries. Now we asked for retail, right? Now, then you can go, well, actually, yeah, fintech. I haven't even looked at any jobs in fintech. Oh, yeah, consumer products. That's right. Very close to retail, but they are found differently when you're searching for them on Seek or LinkedIn, right? So this gives you a really nice understanding of the top 10 industries that are actively hiring what you're after. That's why you can run this prompt 3 weeks later, and I'll guarantee that changes, right? It just moves. It just moves with who's changing. When Amazon landed, can I tell you, retail and consumer and was up there for months. They were hiring quicker than they could ever get people. 20 top companies that are hiring. So obviously Woolworths, they're Australia's biggest hire. You guys know that. But there's a lot here that you go, oh, yeah, I didn't think about Afterpay. They're really big, and so it just inspires you to think of target companies and the like. These are the top emerging employers. Or public sector opportunities, right? So if these are emerging technology, go, New South Wales Services are putting together a digital team. I didn't know that. Transport New South Wales has got an innovation unit. I didn't know that. So this is, once again, this will hopefully inspire you guys to go, I can think a little bit further on for what I'm after, right? So then it goes up next, okay? Great. Let's jump into the Boolean search strings so we can start finding some hidden gems that are out there. So you'll just move; it'll move with you and flow with you guys as you need to do it.
Can the Boolean string help you to find jobs on the company career pages?
Yep. That's what I said to you. You know those earlier apps earlier sites I gave you? If you for example, if you look at if you're writing a Boolean and you think, listen, I've got jobs on GitHub. I know there's jobs, or I know there's jobs on Stackflow. Correct the prompt, correct the Boolean. And say,
for example, if it's saying Woolworths might be hiring, is a high chance that the Woolworths career page will come up?
Look, I'm sure it will, because we've all got that lovely access down here to web search now. So, you know what I mean? So I would just change it to a website and go, give me all the jobs that are active in Woolworths side at the moment. See, because what we've done with this one is we've built the prompt based off the experience that we've told in the variable. So it's a little bit different, right? But the thing is that it still works. You can still copy it over here, go and paste it. Now, Booleans break all the time, guys, so don't ever rely on a Boolean. But there's all the full stack jobs on Seek at the moment, out of Parramatta, all the Sydney jobs. So the stuff that's in here, the reason why I always write my prompts with 1, 2, 3, or 5 Booleans, they break. As soon as they change the domain or as soon as they change something, they break, right? So you need to go beyond there. And then you got employer sites. So like you said, it might be like, these ones here. So these are looking at, let's have a look. Software engineer developer, Woolworths Group. There you go. Look. You see that, Yana? That's what you're after, right?
Yep, perfect.
So we drop that in there. And there's all the ones that are coming up. Now, you can see there that Woolworths is not coming up. It means it hasn't found any, but it's giving you the next best ones on it. Just going to do a quick site, Woolworths.com. Just checking the site is right. That's given us. I think that is right. I used to work for them. It could be actually where you need to ask the AI to say, show me woolworthsgroup.com.au/careers, right? That's because all these companies will have main careers sites, but it's still giving you jobs, right, in here. If Woolworths did have any, that could be because they could be advertising on Squiz or they could be advertising on Eucalyptus Health or whatever's out there. But that's the thing with Booleans. If you find that the Boolean is not finding it for you, you can always throw it down here and you can say, this Boolean is not working. I'm not seeing careers from Woolworths careers site. Can you improve this prompt? Do a web search if you have to, but I want to improve this site. I want to find jobs that Woolworths has at the moment. So you can still play with it beyond there, right? Because you've got a good structure. It knows all about your skills and all the rest of it. So this is that part I was saying to you at the end of a great prompt, because it knows all about you already, it's going to give you the ability to talk beyond it and go in. So let's have a look what we got. Why the original string may miss. Okay, so that's the original. So here's a refined search. So let's go copy this one. Let's see if we get any better results. Oh, this will be good. Okay, there you go. Woolworths Group, machine learning. See that? One simple change. So that's the art of a really good prompt. If you guys can get your prompt stacks together of this sort of thing of looking for jobs, improving your careers, and you build these prompts that you run it once, and then it's a template forever, and you run it again, and you run it again, and you run it again. It'll just leverage your wingspan of opportunities, guys, is what I was trying to show that. And I probably don't have much time to show you beyond that because I would love to. I'd love to show you more, but I'd rather see if there's any questions or anything, Yana, to help you guys out.
Yeah, and I want to just add. I think it's also that's a great prompt to show people that job search is not just about clicking on Seek and clicking apply button. And there is a lot of things. I think even with this prompt, you actually showed a lot of things that people need to think about. That everyone can go and Seek and put software engineer. Yeah,
that's right.
But think about other more creative ways how to find those roles. And of course, I always encourage just applying online. Probably, the also in the current market. It's a tough market to just apply online. You probably still need to go and meet people. But even like improving this and looking for this opportunity, at least understanding what companies hiring for those opportunities, and then you can connect with people on those companies. You can follow these companies on LinkedIn. Like even Woolworths not advertising right now. If they come up with as a company that most likely will be hiring software engineers, follow them, subscribe to their career page, put expression of interest and things like that. So there's a lot of other ways than just going on Seek and clicking apply button.
Yeah. Seek and LinkedIn and all those sites. They're great sites, right? But they're very good at the last job you look at is all of a sudden on page 3. You don't see it again, right? So this allows you to see whatever they've got.
Steve is asking, would you recommend adjusting native language to different spelling? AI seems to prioritize US spelling, but can you tell it to look for result in both?
yeah. As in, tell it to spell like in Australian English as an example. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it just says if you recommend prioritize US spelling for those prompts.
Yeah. So the reason why you'll see spelling that's very much focused, sometimes US, you'll see Zs and everything where we have S's, is because ProPrompt, when I first started ProPrompt, my market was the US. This is a global product. So I've probably got both some of the time, because I write these prompts and I write them in Australian English, so what we have. And when I first started, I was writing a lot of them to go up here, but my market was the US. So you will see a lot of the grammar very different. But in saying that, you can correct that on your end, right? You can use a prompt anyway from behind there, but as long as in your custom instructions here, you've got, I want everything to be in Australian, Australian English. Here we go. Here we go. Look, language and grammar preference. So do you know what I mean? So you can put that into your custom instructions anyway. I highly advise you guys to do this. Set this up if you haven't got it. Claude has it. Perplexity has it, where you can put these custom instructions in. So whichever way you want to go, but tell it about you so that it doesn't have to ask that. Tell it how it like to talk. Tell it how you want the responses. Like you can put in there, after every time I'm talking to you about looking for a job, I want you to give me 5 prompts so I can find jobs. Right? Give me 5 Booleans so I can find jobs. Give me 5 da-da-da so I can find jobs. And so every time it's talking to you, it pumps it out. Like I always say to it at the end of mine, I said, all right, whenever I've finished, I want you to tell me, have you thought about this? And every time it goes, oh, Marrin, that's a great answer, and da-da-da-da. But have you thought about this? And I'll go, oh, yeah, that's right, yeah. See, so do the same with your job searches. Do the same thing.
Yes, yeah. I think it's, that coming back to that, it's definitely not such a thing as a magic prompt, but it's more about how you can use ChatGPT strategically again. So
Correct.
It's, ChatGPT not going to find you a job, but it's a great tool to help you with your brainstorming, helping with your ideas, and look at the things with a different angle as well, and to do your research. Just even that list of companies that most likely to hire, or those different titles and things like that could be really, really useful.
Yeah, I'll give you a really quick example, Jana, of this has happened twice now to me. I've had people ring me, or actually no, one email and one rang me, but where they got a job by going in and saying, I've got a prompt stack ready to go. I can do that. I can roll out that for you. I can produce that for you. I can do this. I can do that. And they've gotten jobs by going in there and not just saying, hey, look, I'm good at what I'm doing. I'm really willing to learn. I've learned this at uni. I've got all these qualifications. I've got this degree. But they've got anything going, and I also have a prompt stack ready to go that can sit right in with your company, and I can produce that work in an hour. And, that sort of stuff is what leaders are looking for. And it's not the fact you've got the prompt stack, but it's the fact they understand how you think. You're thinking ahead. Yeah. So I'd highly encourage you guys to do that and talk like that and think like that, because the biggest people over the years that have blown me away are the people that are sponges, as in I'm willing to learn. If you want to show me going in, they're the first people I look at. The second ones is where I always look to hire people who know more than me. You remember, you guys are going into an industry with CEOs that know 2 out of 10 in AI. Some of them, right? Not all, but I'm saying they're learning AI. You guys know it. You will know more than them. And to go in and blow them out and say, I can take that pain away from you. I can speed that up. I've got a prompt stack ready to go. That's the stuff that people stand out in an interview, way beyond someone that just goes, oh, this is my degree. Yeah, I did a quick stint here. I haven't got much experience there. They don't want to know that. They want to know where you're going and how you can add value and how you can solve real world problems, And the other thing I'll highly say, I have hired 2 or 3 people this way. They said, hire me for a week. Don't pay me. If you like me, employ me. And I did. So just offer that. Just go, look, if you want to see what I can do, I'm happy to sit down, with your dev team or sit down with your software team. And I said, just give me 2 or 3 things to roll out. Don't need to give me anything confidential. Just give me something that you need to solve. Just bring me in for a week. And if you like what I do, employ me. Yeah. It's a great edge, right?
Yeah. Regardless of your position, title, and years of experience, I guess exactly what you said, with everyone exploring at the moment and showing that you are willing to learn, willing to explore. And if you can just even bring some use cases that in your real life, how you make some tasks quicker. That's what businesses care about, like how you can save money, how you can make it quicker, how you can
show
the value.
Bill Gates used to hire on it. I don't know if you guys have ever read his book, but he has this paragraph in there that I never forgot. He goes, I used to hire people who knew how to cut corners and cheat code and because these are the people that were finding ways to do things faster. And he goes, which made the product better, So he used to look for those people, right?
Yeah.
Solve real problems, faster,
100%. So everyone's really quiet today. I'm not sure if because they've been blown away by what you've shown.
It might be just you and I, Jana.
Just a few. No, there's a few questions. When they're saying great tool, love this. Steve saying it was that I was thinking this is a great resource for anyone looking for tailored application to the market. Perfect. So guys, whoever is, we still have quite a few people on the call. So the exciting bit that all these prompts that Marrin-Boyd just showed you, if you can go back to your beautiful thing. The library, yes, the library. Whereas you can access it for 7 days, absolutely for free, if you just basically comment on this live stream that you want a 7-day trial. So making sure both on LinkedIn and YouTube, drop in the comments 7-day trial, and Marrin-Boyd will be in touch with you and give you the link to try it all out. So you can actually play around with all this library and try it out, understand how it works, and actually use it in the future. James saying, great live as usual, Jana. Thank you. Hey guys, it's just like never-ending prompt library.
There's 110 in there, so you can see it just keeps going forever. So, but just remember that these are just the collections, right? So if you're looking at product development, you go inside there, and inside there are the prompts, right? So just there's more and more.
There you go. Perfect. People start commenting.
Enjoy, guys. You're very welcome to get in there for 7 days. Like I said, I'm really happy that you're supporting what Jana is doing here. There's a lot of work goes into what Jana does for you guys and all this sort of stuff. So I'm more than happy to support this and give you guys a bit of a leg up in. And if you can jump into ProProm and give you 7 days and you can play and you can learn and you can grow, I'm all for it. So feel free to connect as well on LinkedIn. But I'll happily pass on the 7 days for everyone who's interested.
Perfect. There's a few comments coming on LinkedIn as well. So while you guys finding the keyboard and putting 7-day trial into the comments, I just quickly gonna tell you what's gonna happen in the next 2 weeks. Next 2 weeks, where we at? We're still in August. Winter almost finished. We'll have quite a few tech walking coming up. There is the tech walking this Sunday in Melbourne. And then it will be tech walking in Adelaide on the 6th of September. New destination. So make sure if you haven't been on any tech walk, here's a chance in Adelaide. Sunshine courses keep walking. So we have one on the 14th of September, and then Sydney as well. So there's quite a few volunteers who want to keep going in Sydney. So we're doing another one in Sydney on the 21st of September. I also got some requests for Perth and Brisbane. So I haven't organized it yet, but look, we keep working on it. And the next week, we're going to speak with Aditya, and we're going to talk about how to set yourself up for success in your new tech role. We're going to look at like 30, 60, 90 plan when you're starting a new role. Sometimes we get the job, we're so excited, and we forgot that we actually need to keep the job too. And also for those who recently moved to Australia, I really recommend to join our webinar with Ben in September. We're gonna actually run like a hands-on workshop on writing a technical resume for Australian job market. So make sure to check it out on Meetup group as well. Anyway, so I'll just double checking our comments quickly. And guys, obviously connect with Marrin-Boyd on LinkedIn. You can see his name. You can reach out, and if you haven't connected with me by any reason, you can do it as well. And just to finish this live stream, can you give us some, just your favorite inspirational quote, just to finish on?
Mine.
Come on, casually
okay, you know what?
Casually throwing it in.
Yeah. Actually, I'll give you one that changed the game for me. And this will sound like it's not really important, but in the part of my career that I was in, this became very important. I had a situation very quickly where I pretty much had dropped the ball with work. There's something that I just totally missed. I was dealing with a senior leader. I was in a bit of a situation that I thought I'd really let him down. And I worried about it for about 3 days. And I remember the leader came over to me about 3 days later. He must have known I was where I was in my head. And he just leaned over and he goes, "Don't spin your wheels on the little stuff. It's not important." Right? And I was like, oh, that's right, So that's really important, guys. Don't spin your wheels on the little stuff you get wrong while you're looking for a job, while you're in a job, when you're supporting people, when you're doing stuff. It's not important. What you are stuck in and where you're thinking is not the big picture. It doesn't define you, and it definitely doesn't give you an outcome that's going to be beneficial to you or the business. So don't spin your wheels on the small stuff.
Perfect.
Thank you, Doug.
Yes, prioritization. Make sure know where to put your energy. 100%.
Yeah.
And same with the job search.
Yeah.
Don't just spin your wheels and apply for everything.
Yeah.
Do your research, pick the right ones,
that's
and
right.
go for it.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us. And you still have a chance to get the 7-day trial if you contact me in the next 24 hours. See you.
Awesome. Thanks, Yana.
And
thanks, mate.
talk soon.